It's time for another edition of BNN After Dark with Winston Venable, John Mallory, and B.J. Rains. BNN After Dark is exclusively for subscribers of Bronco Nation News and is presented by Circa Sports. Check out Stadium Swim and Circa Sports at Circa Resort and Casino on your next trip to Las Vegas. Now here's Winston, Johnny, and BJ with another edition of BNN After Dark, presented by Bronco Nation News.
Yes. What's up? How we doing, folks? Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Very special edition tonight, BNN After Dark. And you know what? I'm in a good mood, having a couple drinks. Figured, hey, it's a big day for Bronco Nation News, the 1-year anniversary here. Let's open this up for everybody. So we got subscribers, we got non-subscribers, we got folks that are hopefully about to go click that subscribe button. And we wanted to let everybody kind of get a taste of what Bronco Nation News After Dark is all about if you're a non-subscriber. So, guys, you have, an hour here to hopefully convince people to want to subscribe. So, we got to give them a taste of what BNN After Dark is all about. We got Winston Venable. We got John Mallory. I appreciate you guys both, as always. And how we doing, guys? Let's. We haven't had a show in a while. I think we have one show in the last 3 weeks due to basketball and holidays and everything else. So let's kick some butt tonight. How we doing, guys?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. Got a little Wednesday action here. Kiddo's on his way to sleep. House is nice and quiet. Ready to get it, man. I'm excited about this one, man. And it's awesome to get Johnny and BJ and get us all three musketeers here back on the scene, dude.
The Three Musketeers. Well said, Winston Venable. And I was thinking about this. I was talking to my girlfriend about this earlier. She's like, why are you so excited tonight? I'm like, I get to hang out on BNN After Dark. And I'm going to say this, and hopefully he doesn't treat me like the Fresno quarterback back in the day, but I'm excited to hang out with Winnie. Winnie. Winston Venable. He scolded me week 1 when I called him Winnie. He doesn't like it, and I'm sorry for it, but I'm just so excited to hang with you tonight. Winston Venable. Man,
Johnny,
I love it.
Hey, you know what, man? The closer we get, the more we build a relationship, man. The easier I will take it on you and let that be acceptable. But I'll limit it so it's not just thrown out there so nonchalantly. But you can drop a Winnie every once in a while, and I'll give you the pass, bro.
In honor of the 1-year anniversary, I'm going with the Winston Venable special, the SoCo tonight. Busted out the SoCo just for you, Winston. So it's been an awesome day. We hit the 1-year anniversary at BroncoNationNews.com. My wife says, hi, Winnie. I don't know if my wife knows you well enough to call you Winnie yet, but we'll allow it because you guys both need to go check your phones. You both just got paid, by the way, on Venmo. You both have gotten paid for the next month, so we paid you in advance to make sure you guys bring it tonight. So we appreciate both of you very much for what you guys are doing to help us out here at Bronco Nation News. And John Mallory made sure to email me and text me today like 5 times to remember that tomorrow was payday. I should have just paid Winston, but both of you guys, your money is in the Venmo. We got you, and we appreciate you guys. Logan says, by the way, is the $75 one-time payment for the whole year. Well, actually, it's only $70, not $75. And yes, you pay once, and you're in for the whole year. And we got a lot of great things we're giving away. By the way, I just got word, guys. I'm able to give away 4. Maybe we should just do it tonight. If we're having a good time, why not? But I got 4 tickets to give away to the championship game on Saturday. I was going to wait till Friday and throw that in there, but maybe we'll figure out a way tonight at the end of the show if we can figure out how to give them away. But I got 2 sets of 2 tickets. If you want to go to the title game, why don't we say if anybody signs up? If you sign up for a $70 subscription in the next hour, we'll give you 2 tickets to the championship game. Is that fair enough? Can we do that?
Hey. That sounds pretty good.
If it's more than 2, I'll have to figure something out. But if you sign up for a 1-year subscription and you pay the $70 before we're off the air, and I get the notification in the next 53 minutes, we'll hook you up with 2 tickets to the championship game. How about that? We got 4 tickets thanks to the Mountain West, and we'll give away 2 sets of 2. And someone's asking, how can students contact me? We do give, and we're thankful for this. If you're in the military or if you're a student, we give you a free subscription. Just send me an email, Rains at Bronco Nation News, Rains at Bronco Nation News, and we'll hook you up with or BroncoNationNews.com. We'll hook you up with a free subscription. We got folks like Brandon already, they just resubscribed, already, pushing for the tickets. We'll see what we can do, Brandon. We appreciate you, man. Jacob says that he appreciates it. Same price as 2 tickets. Yeah, pretty much. It actually is. So we got a great show tonight, though, guys. We're going to BS here for a little bit, but live from Barcelona, Spain at 4:00 in the morning. Winston, tell us about our special guest tonight, man.
Dude, I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited to get my boy Chase Baker on tonight. Sacrifice a little bit of his sleep to join us, and much appreciated that.
What is he doing over there, by the way?
Dude, we're going to dive into it. This dude is coaching ball, man.
He's coaching football in Barcelona, Spain.
Coaching football in Barcelona. Now, to me, I brought this up to my wife, and her ear is just like, can we get out there?
Hey, yeah, right?
She's Colombian, so she's like, hey, get me in that Spain environment, and you get to coach football still. Our son gets to be immersed in a beautiful culture like that. I'm like, hey, I might have the green light if Baker needs an assistant. Let me tell you that.
Call your agent, Winston. Call your agent, man. American football is getting bigger every year in other countries and other continents. And, yeah, man, if you could get out to Spain or something, hook up with ex-teammates, that seems like a really
Winston,
cool deal, man. I wish I was in a position to do that. But sports talk radio, yeah.
It's more your scene.
I would like, I don't know if they allowed Johnny out of the country. I don't know if there's some sort of no-fly list or something for Johnny to leave the country. Well, we'd have to check on that. But Winston, for folks that are watching, we got great viewership, probably record viewership for a BNN After Dark right now. Tell folks about the what the show's been like, some of the previous episodes, some of the guys we've had on. If you do subscribe, you're able to go back and watch the old episodes. This has been a lot of fun, man, catching up with some of your old teammates.
Yeah, no, man. And I think, what a great opportunity to do what you did tonight and kind of let it be out in the open, in the air, and let some other people view what we do here, man, because, it holds a little special place to me because I'm well connected. These are my brothers. And what we've done in the past is we brought on some of my bros, man, some of my teammates, some Bronco legends, and really we get to have a great time, man. We share stories. We shoot the breeze, and we get involved in, what it was like to get recruited at Boise State, and, who your roommates were and what cool stories you had, in your 4 years here. And, guys like Chase Baker that only lost 3 games and never lost on the blue, and things like that, where you can get these exclusive interviews, man, and this exclusive content. And it's awesome, man. And my teammates are fired up to jump on and share their stories, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of rehash some memories. And the awesome thing for me is, guys like Hunter White, they'll tell stories that I don't even remember. And it's like, dude, this is pretty cool. So it's a special show, BJ. I think, it's, I don't take it lightly, man, to be honest, man. Getting these guys on, they're special to me. They're special to Boise State's program. And we get some inside access, man. I mean, this is like, getting the throwback stories, and you have some fun with it. So it's been cool, man.
Johnny, have you enjoyed doing this, man? You look at the guest list we've talked to so far. I mean, we just had Jamar Taylor on the last episode, and you go back and look at some of these guys that we've had on. I mean, it's been pretty incredible with George Iloka, Doug Martin, Richie Brockle, Jerron Johnson. I mean, you go down the line. Shoeman, and we've had so many guys, even Ryan Winterswick and Hunter White, as he mentioned, Brandon. And I still think Brandon Thompson had one of the best lines of the whole time, telling us about Winston and the SoCo, and the captain. So I mean,
you love BJ. You love the party stories, BJ. You know what's funny? Hey, Johnny.
Seriously,
it's funny. Every once in a while, BJ will retweet some stuff from the show, and it's like BJ. You just love the party action, man. You're all about those stories, bro.
Hey, man, that's the good stuff. And I've tried 10 times, man. I've probably invited Winston to come hang out like 10 times, and I'm 0 for 10. So I thought me and Winston were boys, man. I'm paying this guy money. I can't even get him to come hang out with me. But no. He says that after 6 o'clock, he's pretty much done for the night. But I hear all these stories on BNN After Dark about Winston being this, the GOAT and the big man on campus and all this. And then I try to get him to hang out, and he's in bed by 7:30, it seems like. So
we went that hard back in the day. It's time for me to just take a chill and be a homebody and be a dad, man. That's about it, dude.
But we've had some great stories, man. You guys think about Doug Martin talking about crushing the Idaho helmet in the locker room and the setting it on fire, and BT and some of his stories. And we go down the line. I mean, this has been a pretty cool series, Winston. So hopefully folks will go check it out. If you're not a subscriber, hopefully you will go subscribe. All the old episodes are available. You can go back there on, if you're a subscriber, you just log in. It's up there on the tab at the top of the website. You just click BNN After Dark on the live videos tab, and they're all right there. So it's easy to do. And again, we try to do this every Wednesday. We still have a couple more guys, right, Winston? We're trying to keep this thing rolling for a little bit. I know the roommate of our next guest, Chase Baker, Mr. Tyrone Crawford, is someone on our list to try to get. I'm still holding it to you, Winston. I may have to up the ante on your pay, but I know Coach Pete is still on my list to try to get you to. I want Coach Pete so bad on this show. We got to make that. We got to make that happen.
Johnny's
somehow,
like, hey, everybody's gonna have to get more reward for old Pete getting on. But no, BJ, it's been awesome, man. And to the non-subscribers out there, I would say that if you're able to go back and watch all of these just with the subscription, well worth it, man, because we've talked about some Bronco legends, some exclusive stories, and to have access to those stories and that content even after the fact, I think it's well worth the subscription even moving forward, man. So if you're all about high quality entertainment and you're a Bronco fan, it's a no-brainer to me. And that's just I'm biased because I love these guys and I think what we're doing is great, but I'm also a big Bronco fan, and I will toot our horn, man. It was one of the best eras in Bronco State history, and you're getting to get these exclusive interviews with some of the best to ever do it on the Blue.
Well, I appreciate you for go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, that's been the best part about this for me. And I followed those teams very, very closely. And I think Winston would attest to that. I think Winston would say, yeah, Ball Game knows what he's talks about his era. Like, I remember those guys. I saw what they did. Am I bouncing out, BJ, right now? I feel like I'm going pretty strong.
You're all right, man. Keep it going.
Where I was going with it was, the era that Winston played in, and everybody knows how near and dear it is to Bronco Nation's heart when they're ranked in the top 5 in the country for like the entire season. It gives me a chance to look back on those teams and the guests that we bring on, and obviously is going to be one of those tonight. But think about this real quick, and I know Chase is ready, but you're looking at like pass rushers, defensive linemen, linebackers. Winston played with all these guys. And I'll just look at the 2010 team. I know we always talk about it, BJ, and congratulations to Winston as a nickel, was 3rd on the team in sacks that year with 5.5. Our guest, Chase Baker, was 4th on that team with 4.5, tied with his boy Billy Wynn. So good for Winston. You got Baker on sacks. It was what he was supposed to do, was sack the quarterback. And Winston was supposed to cover dudes. He just happened to dabble in 5.5 sacks that year, Winston Venable. But like the names, you mentioned Tyrone Crawford. I'll throw in Shea McClellan, Billy Wynn, Jarrell Root, Ricky Chongachu, Ryan.
We got plenty of guys we can still get on.
Ryan Winters-Swike, Canadian Bacon Atkinson. I looked up this list and I saw on the 2010 team, guys, 17 players at least recorded a half a sack. 17? Wow. Like, those are dudes like 2nd, 3rd, 14 on the action. 17 players on one defense, recorded at least a half a sack. And again, congrats, Winston, being third on that list with 5.5. By the way, if you're scoring at home, number one, probably pretty obvious, Shea McClellan, 9.5. Number two, Tyrone Crawford. Yeah, he was pretty good with 7. And number 3, our boy, our own Winston Venable. But yeah, I can't wait to talk to Chase Baker tonight. This is going to be a good episode, guys.
Looking forward to it. Logan is trying to subscribe, by the way, before we go to Chase. Let me find his comment. He says, trying to subscribe. Logan, go on the computer. Sometimes there's some issues on your phone with the CAPTCHA, so go onto a desktop and try to subscribe. And yeah, if you get in there,
deal with these guys later.
Hey,
BJ,
I will. I'm just
Deal
saying.
I
gotta. Hey, man, I just paid you your monthly fee, so can I not have 10 seconds to try to get somebody to subscribe to pay you? Can I reverse the Venmo? I'll tell my wife to reverse the Venmo. I'll make you wait till tomorrow. I paid you early, man. I paid you early. Winston, this dude did not only text me, he texted my wife in a group text reminding us that tomorrow is payday.
Hey, you guys are boys, man. That's what boys can do. Keep each other accountable, man. Make sure the goods come through on time.
Winston knows he's getting paid. He doesn't have to text my wife to remind her that tomorrow is payday. My gosh. But yes, if you're do it on your computer, not the cell phone. It's easier. And $70 full year. And we got 2 sets of tickets to give away for the game tomorrow or Saturday for the next couple of people that sign in. Now we'll get to Chase Baker, our guest. But first, in 30 seconds, we got to tell you about our sponsor of this show. There's actually a sponsor, believe it or not, that pays us to do this show. And we really appreciate Circa Sports for sponsoring this show. And we'll tell you about them, and then we'll bring on Chase Baker in 30 seconds.
Get ready for the time of your life at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas's newest destination for fun, featuring the world's biggest poolside tailgate party with 3 levels of action, 6 pools, and a 143-foot screen. The fun is always on deck with all the games all year long. Stadium Swim, located in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Book the time of your life today at circalasvegas.com.
All right, we're having a lot of fun. We got Winston. We got John Mallory. I'm supposed to Perry says just give Johnny a Cutwater. Yeah, you need a Cutwater, John. You need to lighten up a little bit. But we're having fun tonight. And Winston, you have the honors, as always, to bring on our special guest tonight, man.
Hey, way of Rockland, California, a little NorCal bro of mine, Chase Baker. We appreciate you. You got a little sleepy still in the eye.
He's been yawning. He's been yawning for 5 minutes.
I'm joking, brother. I'm joking. No, this is Chase was just one of those dudes, man. Was there at Boise State before I was. One of those guys that was always a good teammate, always taking people in, and nasty on the field, cool dude off the field, man. So I'm just excited to reconnect with some of these guys. And Chase is one of those dudes where it's maybe a little DM or a Twitter message here and there, but now we get to reconnect, and that'll take our relationship off into, the future too, man. So I'm just happy to get my dog on here, man.
What's up, Chase?
My guys, I appreciate it. Nah, man, I gotta say the whole this BNN After Dark, when I first saw the first episode and I saw Winston do it, I'm like, dude, this is perfect guy. Winston was always able to connect with guys, bring the energy. Everybody loved Winston. So I'm like, this is beautiful. So love what you guys are doing, BJ.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Chase, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I came down and interviewed you for a podcast back in Dallas. I forget what it was, 2015, 16. I forget the year. Maybe it was 17, but Boise State was playing Oklahoma State. And then I came down to cover the Cowboys game, and we connected. And I was listening to that interview today, man, to kind of refresh myself. And I guess we got some great stuff to talk to you about. But our understanding is it's 4:22 in the morning in Barcelona, Spain right now. And you agreed for some reason, I have no idea why, to come on at 4:00 in the morning and hang out with us. So we, first of all, truly appreciate you waking up early. But before we kind of go down memory lane and talk about the olden days, tell us about why you're in Barcelona, Spain. And we really do appreciate you waking up this early, man.
Oh, yeah, of course. He asked, is that too crazy? I'm like, man, it's all good. I got to take the guys that work out. I got some youth guys out here. We're getting up anyway. Just threw on a sweatshirt. I'm still in my boxers, so we're rolling, man. But it's all good.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm in a little town called Salo out here, about an hour south of Barcelona. Yeah, I always enjoy that path less traveled and kind of unique experiences. And so ended up, I've been doing the coaching route for the last couple of years, and reached out and was looking at some stuff internationally, and linked up with the GM of the Barcelona Dragons out here, and that they're part of the ELF, European League of Football, and playing probably the best football in Europe, and had the opportunity to come out here and had to take advantage of it. Me and my wife don't have kids. It's just us and our two bulldogs. And so we sold our cars and all our stuff and packed it up, and we're out here, man, exploring, having, had to make an adventure of it.
So how long have you been out there, and kind of what level is this football? I mean, is this college, pro, high school? I mean, where does this fit in? And are any of these guys, do they have any shot of ever playing, over in America, or what? Just give us the lowdown on this league, and how, just the fact that you're over there, and how long you've been over there and stuff.
Yeah, of course. So I agreed to come out. When I signed up, I was like, yo, if I'm coming. I'm not just coming for, the quick 3-4 month season. I want to come be there. I want to be, part of the community. I want to help, get involved with youth guys. So I came out in February. So I've been here for quite a while now. I think 9-10 months going on. And so the season started in May, went through about September, and now I am the head coach for the academy program, which is all the youth. And so getting these guys ready to roll. And in terms of, the professional team is considered professional out here. I will compare it. You get every kind of body type, man. You got guys that would look like they could play D1 on a pro level, and you got, D2, D3 type, body types. And so I'll say you get a wide spectrum of what you might see in the US, and you get, a lot of raw talent, and it's kind of like, it's our job to develop it and kind of, start bringing that up. So it's a wide spectrum, man, but it's really fun. It's been badass out here.
Winston, you just heard this guy say he's the head coach of the academy. Can you think of Chase Baker and head coach in the same sentence?
No, dude, I want to get into, like, and it's like, I got so many things about this whole football journey, but it's like, just diving into coaching in general is one. But so when you talk about the youth side, Chase, like, are these guys, so you got the professional guys, and then you're taking over the youth. Is this 18 to 22-year-olds, 16-year-olds? Are you developing high school kids? Like, what level, I guess age-wise, are you working with? And obviously you're developing these guys to then get to that pro level, but what's the age we're working with, man?
Yeah, man, it's all under 19. Okay. So
Wow.
15 to 19. And the idea of the academy was to bring in, young kids from around Europe and into, make them part of. All right, it's kind of a cheat way, but in order for the Barcelona Dragons to have considered, homegrown talent, essentially, 3/4 of the team has to be from Spain. So if we bring them in and develop them here in Spain, they get to be considered, Spanish talent. So we have, a French kid. We were looking at a couple of Brazilians, but if we're able to bring these guys in and have them start their football journey in Spain, they count towards us. So that's kind of the goal, is to kind of, help take advantage of this so that we can grow the Spanish youth and count them towards our Spanish kids. But it's unique out here in Europe, man. I think, you in the US, we're just used to sports being integrated, and that's not the case out here. These young guys that want to play football, that they have to pay for it forever. There are no sports connected with their schooling. That there aren't high school sports, anything like that. They have to pay for it. It's all, academy. What do you want to call it? Like AA, or the youth.
AAU, whatever. Yeah, I got you.
I didn't know that.
So, I love it because the kids that are playing are there's real passion behind it, that they want to do this. They have to go out of their way. And so, it's very different, and it's been awesome because, a lot of them never lifted a weight before in their life. Most of these guys I got 7 full-time guys right now. And, we're starting from the ground up, talking like we got to get them able to control their body. We got to start, building some muscle, get them in the weight room. So, I'm trying to reach out to all my sources. I would reach out to my guys, some of my athletic trainers back at Boise, just trying to get an idea of how can I help these guys, build that athletic base up so that we can work with something.
You reach out to Dale on equipment?
No, that would be a good one. Yeah.
Dale actually.
Dale gets more mentions on this show than anybody.
Yeah.
Oh man, Muley Claus. Let's get him on. That's got to over Coach Pete. Dale needs to be next.
Right? I think Dale might seriously have more mentions on this show than Coach Pete has. Yeah. And Winston, didn't something happen where we you guys, did Dale text you or something because somebody showed him one of the clips or something?
Dale group chat, me, Jerron Johnson and myself. Basically, he said like, "Oh, I was too hard on you guys, or it didn't show you enough love when you were players." And I'm like, okay, so at least we know that these stories are getting back to Dale. So
I'm telling you, Winston, once the season is over, we're getting Dale on this show.
We got to.
I'm sorry I brought it up, or maybe I'm not, but wanted to throw that in there for Chase and Winston. I know you got another question for our guy.
No, for sure. I got all sorts of stuff, but okay, so here's another one real quick, just because I'm loving it. I'm trying to get immersed in to what you got going on. I think this is a good opportunity for football fans to learn about football outside of the U.S. And is this American football? I mean, like, I know you played in Canada. Rules change. I played in Canada. Is this 11v11, 100 yards, 10-yard end zones, 55.5 wide, or whatever it is? I mean, what are we looking at here, man?
Full-blown American football, man, to the specs of the NFL. Yeah. At our youth level, they shrink the field down a little bit, and right now I'm playing. So with my academy, we merged with a local team as well. So my 7 guys are part of. It's essentially took 2 teams and kind of smashed them together. We are the L'Espitalet Academy Pioneers.
Okay.
And so I was very confused at first. I'm like, it's Pioneers. And so they took off and they're like, no, it's Pioneers. And I'm like, okay. Like I got to get used to it. But no, we're kind of 2 teams smashed into one. But yeah, man, it's for the most part, real football at our youth level. It's 9-man. So we got 3 linemen, the QB, and then very spread and kind of why we got all the wide receivers still. But no, at the professional level for the Dragons, it's NFL type rules.
Cool, man. Dude, I love it, dude. I think this is awesome, dude. I love what you got going on. And I'm curious, like, when did you get into the coaching, bro? Like, when did you know that was something, like, right after you got done playing? Was that something you were like, dude, I want to dive into coaching?
No, it wasn't actually. Right after I got done playing, I thought I wanted to do, develop like putting a team together. I thought that would be really cool. So I started doing the scouting thing.
Yeah.
Took a couple of internships with the scouting. And I liked it, but it was just very tedious for me sitting in front of a computer for that long. And I kind of just wanted to go away. Actually, I kept trying to go away. I tried to build some businesses. I tried to get into other stuff, but it always just called back to me, man. Coaching back at the alma mater at my high school, when I was in Dallas, doing the Dallas youth stuff, with the Cowboys, and there was always just something that kept me involved within the coaching aspect. And I enjoyed it. That was never my thing. I never thought I'd be a coach, but it just continued to kind of claw me back, and I loved it more and more. And it's kind of developed into where I was like, all right, I could do this. Definitely. Like I do love this. And, but no, it wasn't. Originally never thought that was going to be my path, but I've fallen in love with it, man.
I would imagine that, and I don't know, maybe there's other Americans out there. Maybe there's some guys that have played some big time ball like yourself, but I would imagine you're like a big deal out there as far as the knowledge and your experience. And like, I'm sure these guys are really, obviously you're in the right role, right? You're with the young, you're developing them from the start. You're not getting with guys that are too old. This is a big role for you, man. So like, are you the dude out there? Are there other Americans? Are you like that one dude that's a little bit like the odd man out, but the baller?
I'd say I'm kind of a unique situation out there. There's not a lot of guys, and it's different though, because very few people know the NFL out here as well. So football, soccer is the big thing out here, and it's always going to be kind of king. But no, it's growing out here actually. I've been very surprised with the amount of teams, the amount of youth, and even senior teams, and it's bigger than I expected. I will say that. There weren't high expectations. There's more teams and leagues and flag football than I ever imagined. They got, beach tournaments a couple times a year. They got a lot of cool stuff going within American football. So it's cool to see the growth. But yeah, no, there's not many former NFL guys. So it's pretty cool. But other than the team, it kind of stays between us, man.
Well, Chase, we want to go back down memory lane, man. We want to talk your Boise State time and some of your, you being part of the 50-3 club and stuff. But I do have to ask, when I was listening to the old podcast that we did about, 4 or 5 years ago, you mentioned that you were working on this mat and you were getting like a patent for it. And it was this really cool mat. And I hate to put you on the spot, but I mean, did anything ever happen with that, or what's the update? And can you tell folks about that?
Yeah, no. So still always, it's off on the side. Obviously, I'm out here in Spain, so there's not a lot I can do. But I have conversations with my engineers every once in a while, and we look at it. It was a big, heavy, bulky sucker, and we never got the kinks kind of worked out. There was always just something that was off, and it wasn't as accurate as we needed. And I'm not a great fundraiser. I'll tell you that. Never got the funds going for it, but I love that, man, and it's still very much part of what I want to do. But we've been sitting here waiting for kind of the technology to catch up to our imaginations. But we have some cool stuff, ideas for the future. But right now it's kind of on the back burner. But me and my engineers stay connected, and we talk about it every once in a while. And it's not dead, but it never got the off the ground like we wanted to.
Well, this is we're letting anybody that wants to watch us. Usually these shows are subscriber only. We thought, Chase Baker deserves a bigger audience. We want to let everybody in on this tonight. So we do have a couple questions from some of our viewers here, Chase. If we can go to them, and then we'll get into some story time. And usually the only reason we really bring you guys on is to hopefully give us some dirt on Winston.
Don't have any on me. I know that.
Before we get out of here. But let's see here. We got Perry wants to know, are the folks over is Boise State or people in the blue field, are people familiar with it at all over there?
Very few.
Are there any teams over there? Somebody wants to know if there's any teams over there that have a blue turf.
No teams over here, so nobody's had to reach out to Boise State to ask for them. We got the rights to that. Nobody's had to ask to make it happen. But most guys barely know NFL players, let alone college. So it's still a very young thing. But when I get to introduce myself, and I always bring that up. Most wins in college football history, or I think we're tied now. Whatever, but we're still claiming the most.
By the way,
that's something for him.
By the way, Winston, we got Ken Mitchell on here saying that he'll buy you an old fashioned if you meet him at the James before the game on Saturday. So you got folks now offering to buy you drinks, man.
Hey, thanks, BJ. I'll give you some credit for that, man. Thanks for having me on, Ken Mitchell. I'll take you up on that. I'll see you at the James.
Yeah, you'll be there pregame. We're gonna make that. Ken is actually Colin's dad. You've met him before. He's a good dude, and
of course,
if he wants to buy you an old fashioned, I guess, can you turn that down?
I want one too, man. I want one too. I've actually met Ken. Winston has not. So I want one too.
No. Winston knows Ken. Ken's a legend, man. Come on.
Okay. Well, I met Ken as well. Dude. I got a question for Chase, though, and this is really fun having you on. And, I've kind of from afar looked at what American football is trying to do in other countries and continents, and I love it. Feels like it gets a little bigger every year, Chase. But we want to – part of what we do here at BNN After Dark is kind of going through the memory lane aspect of it. And, looking back on your squad, and I have not asked this question for about a month, okay? And BJ and Winston are shaking their head. But I don't think there was a position group more competitive from, let's say, 09 to 11 than the defensive line at Boise State. And you were fourth on the team in sacks in 2010 with 4.5. But just every day, Chase, of Shea McClellan, Tyrone Crawford, yourself, Billy Wynn, Jarrell Root, Ricky Chongachu, Ryan Winters-Wyke, Canadian fucking Bacon, Kyrie Marshall. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Like, so I guess the question is, what was practice like? What were meetings like? What was the D-line group like? Who was the coach at that point like? Deciphering who got to play and when, because you guys had like 7 NFL dudes in one room at that time, and it was the D-line group, Chase.
Oh man, I look back on that group and I'm just proud of our guys, man. We had some great players and such a unique, like I said, it's just a unique collective of guys. I'll tell you that. You get everything, like I said, the Jarrell Roots, the Shea McClellans, you get a wide range of personalities there in that room and kind of, the loves and the interests and what they bring to the table and what they love to do. But it was a blast, going, jumping in, Winterswike's truck or, shoot, there's just so much. That
what kind of truck?
Room, but,
hey, what truck did Swike drive? Like
he had a giant blue F-150 and we could take that thing up to Mountain Home and rip around in it. And it was a good time.
Nice, man.
I love it. Yeah, that was the coolest truck on the team by far. But that was my dream truck right there. But no, the coach, obviously, Coach K, Pete Kwiatkowski, now over with
Texas
Longhorn.
Yeah.
But doing his thing out there, I love it. It was. I honestly look back and I feel like we just tried to make our offense better, right? Every day I think of, them having to deal with us, but it was just a good time, man. And I think you don't realize it till you're out of it, but it was such a cool and special group to be part of.
Winston, you're getting called out by Steve Stewart here. He wants to know if you're drinking milk.
Come on,
hey,
Steve.
Steve, it's water, man. Might be spiked, but
Water.
Yeah, just
Chase,
water. It's not musty milk over here, Steve. Man, I appreciate it though.
I had a question, but Chase, I mean, you talk about those guys and you just mentioned, and I think you said you were roommates for a couple of years with Tyrone Crawford, right? I mean, what was it like? Johnny's talking about those guys, but I mean, just on the field, off the field, going out on the weekends. Like, I mean, you guys were rock stars at that point. I mean, what was it like, man? You and that crew hanging out together, man.
Oh man, yeah. So it was me and the Canadians. It was me, Tyrone, and Mike, and then another Canadian buddy they brought up. He was trying to get on the team. Some crazy stuff happened, but those Canadians, they were a wild bunch, man. It was fun. But I'll say this: we get done with our summer workouts and we jump in the truck to go back home. And we go get a big Dr. Pepper, a giant Dr. Pepper, and then we head up. And honestly, we were nerds, and we'd spend our days after workouts playing Call of Duty together. It was just that was how we decompressed. And then, after we could go to the lake, we were right there below Lucky Peak, and so those were some great summer months.
Chase, if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, I was pretty tight with Dan Paul, and I feel like you guys were roommates at one point, right?
Yeah, so that's how it went. So the first 2 years out there, it was me, Dan Paul, Corey Wardy, and then
that house,
Zach. And so it was us four, and that was a wild first 2 years, and we were right next to the stadium, like 2 blocks away from the stadium. And so I just remember all the seniors coming over and just destroying our house, murdering our house. And so we got sued once we left that house. It did not go well.
Yeah, that was one of those original houses that when I transferred in, I became boys with Dan and Schweik and Shu and a couple of those guys, and we'd come over and hang out at your guys' place and literally sit in Dan's room, drink some beers and whatnot, and listen to some vinyl.
Sorry, Winston, Shoemaker lived with Chase?
No, he was right next door though.
Yeah, not
you
at the time.
Shoe, sorry, but he came over with you. My bad.
Yeah, just the boys hanging out. But Dan Paul, dude, is just free spirit loving dude. He just, we'd sit in his room and drink some beers and totally vibe out, listen to, the Doors and Jim Morrison. I mean, like it was
60s,
like on straight vinyl.
60s, 70s. Oh,
yeah,
man. And I hope Dan gets the credit. I always go back to this, but the oh yeah thing. Can I get a oh yeah? Everybody doing that these days. Dan is the first one I ever heard do it, and we did it, the whole time in 2009. That was us. So unless somebody can prove they were doing it before 2009, that credit better go to Dan Paul, because he's in the room above me.
That thing faded away.
Room downstairs that was like an office, and so I have like a curtain over where the people go up the stairs to Dan's room. But we'd sit up there, and at night he'd be listening to music, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah." Oh, yeah. Chase, like that all night.
So these guys don't know, but I mean that turned into like a pregame like ritual where we're all in a circle and it's like everybody's like, oh yeah. I mean, of course we're all off our rocker. We all got screws loose, and between Dan Paul and Jarrell Root like leading the circle, that was just a time to get a little weird, and that's what we did, man. And that's what the cool thing about our class, man, and not our class, but our time together was, dude, we had some dudes with some screws loose, man.
Wow.
And those guys make great football players, man. And I'm not saying that my screws were tight either, but I think it kind of made us who we were. And you got to be a little out of the ordinary. You got to be a little unusual and uncommon to do what we did, and that's what we did, man. So you and that freaking D-line, the D-line sleeves, what a crew, man. I used to, you might not remember, but I wasn't on kickoff one year, and I used to come down and try to learn some pass rush stuff from you guys and give you guys a little look, like being a 3-point stance as an O lineman, and Billy Wynn would get mad because he's like, the O-line's not going to do that, because I'd come off the ball like head down, trying to give you guys a look. But
oh, Billy, son of a bitch.
Good time.
Hey, Chase, did you ever make it over to the infamous Hale Street house?
Man. Which one? I made it over. I didn't spend much time there, but I made it over a few times.
We heard about
the Pettis, BT.
Good.
So our house, and they're literally next door, but we're on the corner of Hale Street, and then we're two houses, one house over. I think we're one house over. So we were right there, man. We were in the mix.
Well, you got any good Winston Venable stories for us, man? Whether it was on the field, at practice. We heard about the famous Halloween story where, the next Sunday, you guys had a good time for the San Jose State game, and Coach Pete made you guys run, and the trash cans were out there in the end zone. But do you have any good, whether it be at the clubs or the Hale Street house or practice games? What can you tell us about Winston, man?
Oh man, that I'm allowed to say on here.
No, this is BNN After Dark, man. Your statute of limitations is over, man. You're good.
You can keep it PG, bro.
No, let me think. Oh man, I'm not telling though. Shit. You got me.
See, he's got to think that hard. That means that there wasn't much, so we can keep it between the football lines, and
it's all
good.
In terms of football, man,
all right, okay. It doesn't have to be a Winston.
He's not joking when you say, he was definitely one of those guys with a screw loose, and we love that shit. We love it was just all out. Who cares? No tomorrow type thing, and just sell your body out. And I think we fed off that for sure.
When you think Chase about your time, and we've talked to all these guys, and Doug Martin was telling us a story about in the against Idaho in the locker room when they lit the helmet on fire. Coach Choate. We've heard all these different guys. And when you just kind of reflect back, are there any games or moments or stories or things that pop into your head that fans might like to hear, whether they're funny or just interesting, or things when you think back to your 4 years? I mean, 50-3, man, you got to have a lot of experiences that pop into your mind.
No, definitely, man. There's so many, and so being on the spot, and it's 4 a.m., so you guys are killing me. But no, going back to the Idaho game, man, I love that rivalry, and we only had it for those 2 years. And so the Doug Martin story, that was the first thing that I heard from BNN was the Doug Martin story. I love that. Before that game, we had the old 97. shoot, what? Dang it. The guy before me, Dale, told me as he gave me the number 97, he's like, you know who had this jersey before you. If you ever let me down, like, don't ever let me down if you're wearing this number.
Wasn't Sean? It wasn't Bingham. I'm trying to.
He's doing big things out there now. He's
Alex Guerrero.
No.
Was he 97? I don't know.
No, come on. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name because he's a legend. Shit. Right before me. Come on. There's pictures of him like.
Come on, fans. Who was number 97 right before Chase Baker? Let's get the fans.
Come on, you guys get Boise State guys.
We'll throw it out to the fans. Come on, who was 97 before Chase?
That would have been 06, 07 Fiesta Bowl first year. Anywho, but yeah.
I'm so mad at myself that I'm forgetting.
I gotta ask you, bro.
Dale is gonna bust you. Dale Holstein is on you on this, man.
But no,
you got any good Dale stories, by the way, Chase?
Yeah.
What's that?
You got any good Dale stories?
Yeah, Winston has a lot of Dale stories. Dale disrespected him when it came to new gloves, orange shirts.
Oh, he was the Taiwan with the gear. He hated give gear away. He would not give the gear away for nothing.
Unless your name was Jerron Johnson, apparently.
I get it. Yeah, no. Some guys would get it. I could come in with holes in my gloves. He's like, "You're good. Keep those gloves. You got another week out."
Hey, Chase, I got to ask you, I think we could probably stay on Boise State and your time there. And, we could stay on this thing for an hour. I know you're about to get trained in. Johnny's
Hold on, Winston. We had two people come in with the answer. Was it Nick Schleckway?
Schleckway. There we go.
Schleck, dude. Yeah.
Jesus.
There you go.
But Nick Schleckway came in before that Idaho game, and Schleck gave the most insane speech about, if they were going to remove half his life or he was going to die tomorrow if he could play against Idaho again. I'd fucking do it. And he fucking throws the table and he gives me the shit. Like, that really sticks in my mind. And again, it's just those guys that have screws loose that are still enough composed to, be there and make the right decisions most of the time, but you're still just a nut. And that will always stick out for that Idaho game. Is like Schleck was just a nutty dude, and you gotta love the energy and the passion that he brought to that team as well before us.
Hey Chase, I got a question real quick. Sorry, Winston.
Dude, go for it, bro.
Winston, I've gotten to know him in the last year or two, Chase, and he's he's a soft, likable, lovable guy. Like, he's caring. He is.
Yeah.
Like, I've went through some family stuff. Winston was right there for me, but on the field, holy shit, man. Like, you saw the Fresno play. You were there. He dives in with his head. Like, what's it like, with a guy like Winston where, off the field, look at him. He's a teddy bear. I want to put him in a headlock and grab his hair a little bit there and mess with him. But on the field, you guys had a lot of mean guys on your defense, Chase. You had a lot of tough guys. I don't know if there was a guy tougher on that defense than Winston. If there was, let me know who was at least in that ballpark, but just wanted to hear about
pound for pound. If I'm putting somebody up, I want Winston out there for sure.
Yeah.
And you're spot on, man. And I think that it's a credit to a lot of the guys in similar situations, but nutty on the field and then kind of a soft-spoken, caring dude off the field. I think you could almost say that about guys across that defense. But yeah, man, it's just they compiled us like the way they recruited us. I think that's what they were looking for is nuts on the field and guys that were soft and not soft.
Okay, geez, man.
Kind of carry a big stick thing, but no, it was really unique, and I'll always carry that time, man. There's nothing better than the Boise State days.
Man.
Coach Pete, I don't know if Coach Pete taught me a single thing about football, but when it comes to that, the culture and the people you bring around and the things that make you great outside of the game, Coach Pete was one of the best to ever do it by far. And I can't think of a single thing football related that he brought to the table for me. So
have you talked to Coach Pete, Chase? Because you are a head coach. You head coach You're a head coach in what is it? Is it Italy? I'm sorry.
Spain.
Spain,
Come on, man.
Italy, whatever.
Dude.
Yeah, shoot, we can't remember Schleck's name out here. It's late, man. You know, shit.
You're a head coach in Spain, Chase.
Australia, France, wherever, yeah.
In Spain, have you ever reached out to Coach Pete and say, "Hey, I'm a head coach. Any advice?"
I not since I got this. I talked to him probably a couple years ago, but you know, as we're looking to do stuff and continue to build out here, I've thought about that, and I do want to. You know, I tried to, but I only have WhatsApp now because I don't have my normal number, and so I tried to see if he was on there. He's not on WhatsApp, so I gotta get Coach Pete on WhatsApp so I can talk to him. But no, I need to reconnect. It's tough being out here and not having my numbers, and you know, you kind of lose contact. But you know, socials and WhatsApp is where I can reconnect with everybody.
He meant a lot to you, though. A lot of you every day is Coach Pete coming out, I would assume, right?
No, absolutely, absolutely. You know, helping guys figure out what their passion is, helping guys, you know, realize how to do the right thing, what the right thing is, what that work entails in order to kind of get to, you know, match your goals, reach your goals. That all comes from Coach Pete for sure.
We got a question here from one of our newest subscribers. So we appreciate Kareem for jumping in with a subscription tonight.
Thank you,
he wants to know, Kareem the Dream wants to know your most memorable game as a Bronco, Chase. When you think back to games or plays or moments, obviously you played, you know, the Fiesta Bowl, but there were some other big games as well. What sticks out to you, man, when you think about a favorite game or moment or play from your career, man?
You know, it goes back. Actually, it's not a game that I'd probably that anybody remembers. I don't even remember it necessarily from the football side of it, but I remember against San Jose State, they got the entire sideline, and this is the fans part of it. But they got the whole. They were like, oh my, they were calling me fat and all that. They're like, you look like one of the lollipop kids, and they got the entire sideline, like everybody, to start singing, "We represent the Lollipop Guild," and they're all like going at me. I'm like, what did I do? And so I'll never forget that. But the San Jose
dude,
guys,
it's because you got the biggest calves in the world, bro. That's why.
But that's one of the most memorable things is the freaking fans that came after me at San Jose State.
Did you have like a couple of sacks or something, or what made it of all the players in the team? Why'd they pick you, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was well coordinated. They're really close to you when you're on that San Jose State field, and you can hear everything. But the coordination to get, you know, a couple hundred people to start singing that song directed towards me, it was pretty. It was memorable for me. It was messed up but memorable. What was playing in the Fiesta Bowl like, man? Oh, that was such a blur, and that's just, you know, that stadium was so cool. That was kind of the experience of a packed stadium with so many guys, and you know, that blue and orange, and you know, Winston. I remember Winston sealing the deal there. That was an awesome experience. You know, although by the way, I don't remember much football. Brandon Thompson, he stole the interception from Brandon Thompson, right? Brandon Thompson, in his words, would have had a 3-piece, but Winston took it from him, man.
You know what's funny? Hey, Chase, you know what's funny is so I, you know, obviously I reach out to some guys, see if they want to hop on BNN, and it's funny, man, because, and I'm not saying this is because we took too many hits to the head, but I think when you know, it was a special time and a unique time, but you don't always remember everything, man. I mean, it happens fast, and there's a lot of games, and there's a lot of plays, and just like you said, I mean, I've reached out to guys that have told me, yo, you don't want me on there, and I don't remember anything. And I'm like, dude, I don't remember everything either, but we kind of get to have some fun and rehash some stories, and it sparks some memories. So it's just interesting you say that. I think it's interesting and awesome, your words about Coach Pete, because it's like you've said the exact same thing that I've said, where I can't remember that dude teaching me much about football at all. And
you're not saying that in a negative way, right? It sounds like when you say that, like, oh, he doesn't know football. Like, no, you're just saying he taught you. No.
Yeah. I never said he doesn't know football.
I know. I'm just saying
he didn't teach. So when you think about it, BJ, what it is it's like the OG, the godfather of leadership, man. It's not about And that's what I've taken. Like, I was the running back coach, and people talk about my inexperience at running back. Coaching is so not about the X's and O's. It's a part of it. It's not all about that. It's the impact, the influence. It's everything that you're doing to give these guys more to help them in their lives. And that's the impact that a guy like Pete had. That's the leadership, man. It's not about how well-versed you are at football. It's like, how good are you at motivating and influencing and impacting guys to get them to have the most potential and get them to be the best that they can. And sometimes that means that you're not talking about football. You're talking about life. You're impacting guys, and it has nothing to do with in between the lines, and it has everything to do with that guy performing well in between those lines. And it's like, people don't figure that out in the leadership role, man. And Pete was a rare dude. And I think you hear guys like Chase say the same things I do, along with other guys that join the show. And it's pretty cool, man.
There may be somebody out there, but I've yet to hear anyone on this show. We're 12 episodes in now, I think, or 11, or anybody else. I've yet to hear someone say, really, frankly, anything negative about Coach Pete. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Coach Choate and so many other guys on that staff.
He comes to bring a take.
About coach recruiting, it feels like Coach Choate brought that whole damn team here. Like, yeah, it was Camelot. It was perfect. Boise State for about a 7-year period had Camelot. And it sucks because we love football in this town, and they would love to see Boise State ranked in the AP poll in the top 5 preseason several years in a row again. I just don't think in this landscape that gets to happen anymore, which is another reason, though, to subscribe to Bronco Nation News and get these badass stories on BNN After Dark every Wednesday.
Winston,
it was a special time.
I got to ask Winston, you mentioned nobody talking about your lack of experience. Like, people like Johnny on the radio were making a big deal about that, man. It seems like that kind of pissed you off a little bit.
No. I just think that I just think that it's funny that, like, there's a reason why certain guys get hired in certain roles. I mean, I think it's just, I know my impact. At least I feel comfortable about my impact towards the Boise State football team. And it wasn't that I was an expert running back coach, but I think Coach Harsin had a belief in me, and same with Coach Avalos keeping me on staff, is because you can bring a lot more to the table than being able to talk about what the O-line's doing on inside zone. I think it just is bigger than that. I think my point is that leadership is not because you're an expert at dialing up a play. I think that was my only point there. But
yeah,
dude, this has been awesome. Yeah. Johnny, I know you got a roll, but I got to ask.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I got one more for Chase.
I just want to dive in really quickly about the NFL, man. And you had some teammates, I believe. I just want to double check. 1, Jared Allen. 2, Everson Griffin. Were those your teammates in with the Vikings?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time with both those guys, man.
Dude, so I had a run-in with Everson Griffin that I always tell about on KOR.
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, it's like I'm on KOR. All right, it's like return right or whatever a return is, and I'm looking, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's number 97 jumping up and down, or 90, whatever, 96, and he's like got snot bubbles coming out of his nose, and it's this freaking 6'5", 265-pound grown man from USC runs a 4.6 40, and I got to go block him. So I try to stick my face in there a couple returns. He punks me. Definite weight disadvantage. And then Jared Allen comes running out on the field, slams his hand on my shoulder pad and goes, "Now he's a big boy, ain't he?" And I'm like, hell yeah, he is. But so Mike Tice was our O-line coach at the time, and I know he had spent previous time with the Vikings. So I just did the Vikings, and my experience with the Vikings dealing with Everson Griffin was like a miserable scene for me. And Jared Allen made sure to rub it in my face.
And that's not even the worst. If he was on the line, that's pretty normal. But get this, Everson was just a freak. All right, straight up freak. We used to take Everson on punt, and we put him as a gunner. He was the gunner.
Bro. I've told this story.
What?
I've told this story. We had a corner, a regular corner, a jammer out on Everson Griffin for one punt. Everson went down there, punked him, made the tackle, and then we substituted and put 2 linebackers out on Everson Griffin. People don't, BJ, Johnny.
That's crazy. I know NFL. That's crazy to put Everson Griffin as a gunner. Like, no, you're right. That just shows what type of ability he had. And you guys know this, being in the NFL, you see these freaks and you tell stories about them. I want to know real quick, Winston, you were here with Taylon Green last year. Am I going to hear these Taylon Green as a freak stories? I'm hearing some of them early on. But holy shnikes, man. Is this kid NFL caliber, Winston? On the spot.
Well, I'll tell you this. What I don't want to do is I don't want to put up the too much hype and get Taylon Green in a spot that I think Bronco Nation can do him a favor and not and keep it humble and not put the expectations up there too loud. Johnny, the kid's young. He's going to play a couple more years before that's even an option. But yes, I've stood behind Taylon Green and saw him at the flick of a wrist throw the ball 70 yards, 65 yards, scrambling across his body, and people just don't do that. Where you then look at Coach Plow and Andy Avalos, and you're like, did you just see that? And you're like, yeah, dude's special. He's going somewhere. I just want to make sure, because I love those dudes, that we don't bottle their heads up with the nonsense, the noise, which is what we do. We bring noise,
get paid to do,
and all that. And
Winston,
the guy's got to stay humble.
Taylon Green has helped John Mallory with so many radio segments. This dude, I think they're setting a record for like how many segments are on one single guy. Like every time they have this show lineup, it's like, oh, there's another segment on Taylon Green. Oh, Taylon Green. Like I think John Mallory, if we go back and look at the questions he's asked at all the press conferences, all the media. I mean, today we were talking to Kelly Papinga. We were talking to Billy Bowens. I don't know if Johnny's asked a question that didn't involve Taylon Green in the last month. I mean,
Hey, Winston and Chase played with Kellen. They know what a star quarterback comes with and how you handle it. To me, in the very entry level of stardom, which Taylon is entering, it feels a little Kellenish to me with how he's handling it. Not how they're playing, not any of that stuff, but it feels to me like everybody loves Taylon. He's a good home guy, like wholesome kid. It feels to me, right? Yeah, I mean, you see that at all, Winston?
Johnny, I know you got to go, Johnny, but James is asking if anyone has some duct tape they could put on Mallory. So
why you want to duct tape this? All right, you know what? Hey, James, screw you, man. I'm out of here. I hate you, James. Screw you.
Chase, Chase, you got a couple more minutes real quick, dude?
Yeah, man, I'm hanging out, man, as long as you need me.
Hey, I was just curious, like, have you been I know the time difference is crazy.
Hold on a second. Do you realize what just happened? Like Johnny just
it just happened. Johnny just went off and just exited the show like that. Yeah, he got called out.
Peace.
Somebody just told Johnny that he needs duct tape. That's a shot.
I paid him tonight too. He owes me $20 back or something. Come on.
Hey, dude. Hey,
we're having fun though. Screw him. We got a couple minutes left. All right, what do you got? Sorry.
No, I'm just wondering, have you been able to tap into any Boise State football lately? Like whether it's highlights, do you keep up? Do you even care?
I try and keep up with any game I can. Obviously, I don't get it out here. For any football, I got to go find some bootleg German, websites and listen to them, talk about the NFL in German. But in terms of, the college stuff, it's pretty hard to get games. But, Twitter is my best friend. I'm on Twitter. I'm watching the updates, hoping BJ tweets and tells me something what's going on. But no, I'm always, the Twitter's kind of my home during the Boise games to kind of watch what's going on. And I just get highlights, man. Highlights are where it's at. So I probably don't see the whole picture, but I love the way they were able to quickly turn it around and get this thing going, because it was looking like it was going to be a rough season, the first couple games. But it's been awesome to see them, rally. And like you said, watching Taylor and him kind of lead this team, it's been really awesome.
Now, Chase, before we get out of here, another Chase Love, I did notice that he signed up for a subscription tonight, so I'd feel bad if I didn't put his question on here. He gave us his money. We got to throw his question on here. He wants to know, what do you remember about the Virginia Tech game? We've heard the Winston Venable story where he couldn't even go back to the bathroom. He just went on the sideline. We've heard that whole
I was cramping. If you
we've
don't
heard that whole
that.
story about the towels on the sideline.
Do we hold it up around you? And
no, stuff in the pants.
Okay.
Stuff the towel in the pants, let it rip, and then throw the towel away. I learned that from Utah homies or something. One of you guys
I'll have to remember that for our guys out here.
But no, what do you because Chase did subscribe, and we really appreciate it, Chase. Chase Baker, what do you remember about that game? And just tell us about the Virginia Tech game. And we all see the video, Enter Sandman, the 90,000, everybody going crazy, and Kirk Herbstreit and Brent Musburger on ABC or ESPN, whatever it was. When you think back to that game, what was that like for you, man?
No, I remember the stadium was awesome. The atmosphere was truly nuts. That was a home game for Virginia Tech. Let's be very honest about that. But I love the experience. In terms of the game, I remember that was one of my only penalties I ever had. They gave me a bullshit penalty. They called it roughing the passer. I barely ran into the dude after he'd thrown it. I was looking back at the ball and I got a roughing the passer, and Coach Pete made me do 1,000 push-ups for it over the next week. And so that's what I remember is a terrible call against me and having to do way too many push-ups for it after.
Was that Tyrod Taylor? Who was the quarterback on that game?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
Okay. Oh, you got to him. You got to him, huh? They flagged you. Wow.
Oh, it was terrible. He'd thrown it, and I'm looking back, and I barely ran into him, and they called it. I'm like, what?
Now Winston didn't do a very good job in the offseason, so he wasn't conditioned enough, and he was telling us that he had all these cramps and things, and he couldn't even play much in that game. Were you dealing with cramps at all, or you were good, right?
They rotated us, man. Winston was one of those, that he's got to go the whole game for the D-line. We get to rotate. We get to come back in fresh. So not many cramps. I don't, if D-linemen are cramping, there's an issue.
Well, Chase, we really appreciate your time, man. Last thing to kind of sum this up, and again, it's 5:09 a.m. in Spain. We really appreciate your time. Well, you got a lot of Boise State fans watching this live. They're going to be watching this on tape. I mean, what's your message, I guess? What's your kind of final thing, man? We've gone down memory lane. We've talked about your career for the last hour. What's just your thoughts, I guess, or your message to Bronco Nation, and just kind of how you look at your Boise State career, your time in Boise, what it did for you in your life, and just how you kind of look at where you're at right now?
Man, just keep showing these teams the same amount of love you guys showed us. Look back with nothing but fondness, and I hope each class kind of gets to say the same thing. Regardless of the records and the winning records, continue to support those guys because that's a huge part of it. And when we get to come back on these shows and do things later on, we look back on the way that our fans treated us with great respect, and it was just awesome to be part of that and continue to support these guys because it makes a huge difference. And all the guys appreciate it across every generation of Boise State. From the different coaches, there's one thing that stays steady, and that's the support from the fans. So we appreciate you guys, and it's love, all love.
Well, we got a lot of folks that are thanking you for coming on. So it's good to see you, Chase. Go Dragons. We got best of luck in your coaching career, Chase. A lot of comments coming in. So, Chase, you woke up early to do this, man. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And we'll be following your career. And I know you're having fun over there, but we'd love to see you coaching back in the U.S. or even back at Boise State at some point, man. So best of luck with your coaching career, and we'll be following you on Twitter and with what you're doing, and we appreciate you for coming on tonight, man.
Thank you, BJ. Always appreciate it. I've always said that the only way I'm coming back right now is for an NFL or Boise State opportunity. Otherwise, I love Europe right now, man. It's a blast out here. But thank you guys for having me, man. It's been awesome. Next time, do it while I'm a little better awake. I'll try and remember some better stories. And
dude, you're good, bro. You're
season
good.
2.
Man.
You're just he's saving them for season 2 of BNN After Dark, man. Season 2 for the exclusive stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
No,
hey, I
man,
appreciate
listen,
you, man.
I love you, man. I appreciate it. Anytime.
Love you
Thanks,
too, bro.
man.
Love you too, man.
Appreciate it, Chase. There he is, Chase Baker. And Winston, great stuff, man. He's an awesome dude.
Awesome, dude.
Love following him on Twitter. I got to know him a little bit. Like I said, he came on my podcast like 4 or 5 years ago. We met at like the Drury Inn Hotel and had a great interview. And just really appreciate him coming on. Awesome stuff. And yeah, 4 a.m., man. You said when you reached out to him, he was all about it, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. And you know what, man? I thought we brought some energy. I thought that Johnny brought some energy. You know, you always do. And I think, like I said, hey, I bet you he goes and has a great day, gets those youth guys ready to go with a good workout. And no, I think that was a really cool opportunity for us to learn about what's going on, you know, in football. If you're a football
I didn't even know there was a league in Spain, man.
I bet you a bunch of people didn't either, BJ. So that's what you get with BNN After Dark. That's what you get with this type of show. And like I said, man, if you're a Bronco fan, it's a no-brainer, man. You get to hear from guys that are out there in the community. And obviously Chase is still involved in football, but we're hearing from guys that are in medical sales and real estate and training kids. And it's just a pretty cool deal that we got going on here, man. So I thought that was awesome to get Chase on. Really appreciate him waking up in the morning and willing to sacrifice a couple hours there for us, because I'm sure his wake up was not for another 2 hours or so. And yeah, a lot of respect for a guy that's willing to do that for us and get his story out there a little bit and give some people some knowledge about what's going on out there in the world of football.
No doubt about it, man. And I will say before we get out of here, I'll give one shameless plug for our contest we're doing, man. If anybody's new, they don't know what we're doing, Bronco Nation News, jump on board, man. If you sign up for a new subscription between now and December 31st, or if you renew your old subscription, you're entered for a VIP basketball experience. The grand prize is a trip for two on a private jet, 2 tickets to the basketball game in Las Vegas. You get a night at Circa, ton of other cool prizes we're giving away. This Friday is the first giveaway. Winston, Bud Light Yeti cooler. We're giving away on Friday morning. We still got a couple tickets left for the Boise State game Friday as well. So we'll give those away if you sign up for a subscription. But we're having a lot of fun. We appreciate it. And if you come see Winston on Saturday, we're also giving away this Bud Light Zero Gravity chair. We got so much free stuff. It's ridiculous, Winston. Like, it's just crazy. We're giving away all kinds of stuff. But Saturday at the James before the game, like 11, 12 o'clock, come by, meet Winston. He's going to be drinking old fashions, apparently, from Ken. And you can come hang out. And you can get all you have to do is show us that you subscribe on the YouTube channel. And we'll give you you can enter to win this Bud Light Seltzer chair. But if you're liking what you're seeing, hopefully you'll subscribe. And I know, you know, I do a lot of hawking subscriptions and everything, and I get it. It gets old after a while, but that's, you know, my business, my livelihood, and I do think it's worth it. And I think that what Winston and Johnny and all the guests are bringing is a big deal, and it's been a lot of fun. And, you know, we mentioned like 4 or 5 guys, Winston. We mentioned, you know, you mentioned Billy Wynn. You mentioned Jarrell Root. You mentioned Tyrone Crawford. You go down the line, and we still got a lot of guys we're going to try to get on here in the next couple. I mean, we don't want to end this thing yet, do we?
Hey, man, I mean, you know, we gotta keep people on their toes, BJ. So, you know, who knows? Maybe we take a little pause. Maybe we keep it going. You never know what's going to happen with a little BNN After Dark, man. So I think that there's some guys out there that that Bronco Nation would love to hear from. So we'll huddle up. We'll get the 3 Musketeers huddled up, BJ, I think, and figure out
BNN After Dark for basketball. We'll have to see if we can make that happen, Kareem. We'll see what we can do. But hold on a second, Kareem. Is that Kareem's got me in his picture right there? Look at that. Kareem's picture on YouTube is a photo that I took with him. How about that?
Are you doing the what I think you're doing in that picture? Are you? I think you are. I think you are. Or is that yeah, I think you are. Yep, I know who that is.
Oh man, I know what you no, that's not the Harson. That's not the Harson. Come on.
Oh, okay. That's the BJ.
Yeah. It might have been the Harson. It might have been. Yeah, you know,
you love it. You love the finger point, man. That's your deal. You stole it.
Oh man. Hey, one of us is employed right now, so I don't know. But hey, Winston, appreciate you as always, man. Great show. Awesome. Thanks so much, man. All the commenters on, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We appreciate you for checking us out. Hopefully you liked what you've seen. We do this every Wednesday with another guest, so another reason to subscribe. Jump on in right now. And again, we're giving away a lot of cool stuff, so we appreciate it. Again, we're going to give this away on Friday, the Bud Light Yeti cooler on Friday. We got the big trip giveaway as well coming up at the end of the month. Every Friday, we're giving away something new, so jump on board, Bronco Nation News. We appreciate all of you for subscribing, for watching. And like I said, if you're just watching this for free, you didn't know what you saw, hopefully you liked what you saw and you want to jump in. And again, Winston is coming down to the James on Saturday, so it's going to be a fun day. You got Winston pregame, you got Coach Ridd postgame, and hopefully it'll be a party for Boise State fans. Final thing, Winston, what are you thinking on the postgame with Kent Riddle and I? Are we going to be talking about a Mountain West championship? Am I going to be dusting off the confetti off my shoulder, or what are you thinking about Saturday's game, man? As we end this.
Hey, man, I bleed blue, man. I'm an alum, man. I really hope that I hope you're suffocated with confetti, man. And I think it's gonna, in my honest opinion, I think it's gonna be a battle. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be highly entertaining, and I don't think it has to be. I think if Boise State plays their best ball, I don't think it has to be a battle at all. But I think it's a championship game, man. You're gonna get the best from both teams, and I think when you do that, you're gonna get a tight battle, man. And I think that's what I'd like to see. I'm just all about high quality entertainment. Obviously, I'd like to see the Broncos win, but it's gonna be a tough one for them. It's always tough to beat a team twice, but got to protect the blue. Championship game. Got to be hungry to go seal that deal and accomplish the goal, man. And I really hope they get that done. And I hope the city's painted blue and orange and you're swarmed with confetti over at the James.
Well, Chase Love, Kareem the Dream, all of you that have signed up tonight, we truly appreciate it. We'll be in touch about your prizes and things like that. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks again, Chase Baker, and everybody that was a part of tonight's show. Have a great night. And Mike Prater and I will be back tomorrow morning. Jay Tuss on Friday, and then again on Saturday, you'll see Winston and I at the James pregame. Enjoy the rest of your night. We thank you so much for checking us out, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.